If you're in your 2-week wait and you're analyzing every twinge and you're Googling, can I be pregnant before the pregnancy test says I am? Watch this video. Watch it all the way to the end. I'm going to tell you some early pregnancy symptoms that you should probably be looking out for that are telltale signs that you're pregnant. And I'm going to throw in a couple of bonus ones too. Maybe 1 or 2 bonus signs that maybe you're overlooking and you're actually pregnant before the big fat positive.
Just as long as you keep your head to the sky.
Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Crystal and I'm super excited that you're back. And if you're watching this video, it's because you're in your 2-week wait and you're trying to figure out if you're actually pregnant before the test can tell you. If you're like me and you're a line progression girl, I could probably reach over right now and grab like 6 pregnancy tests. But you're looking at all the signs and symptoms and you're trying to, am I actually pregnant? And is it possible that I can know that I'm pregnant before I get a positive pregnancy test? And I'm here to tell you that your body is definitely going to give you signs and you can absolutely know if you're pregnant before you get that positive pregnancy test. So keep watching if you're interested in what those signs are. So you're in your 2-week wait and you're kind of going crazy. The anxiety is through the roof. The need to know is through the roof. And I'm right here with you, girl. I understand. Every single cycle, my 2-week wait is like one of the worst things ever. So I'm going to give you some signs that I had that were telltale that I was pregnant. Some of the signs I actually overlooked because we recently just moved to a new country and I thought it was just, you know, being in a new place. So I'm going to go through those, but I actually wrote everything down that I experienced. I also have a bonus sign for you that I think a lot of people overlook, and another sign that a lot of people, actually 2 signs people overlook, but one of those signs people take the wrong way. So let's jump straight into it. One of the first things that I knew, one of the first signs I had that I knew I was pregnant, but I also overlooked this sign, was I was extremely hot. So I'm pretty sure if you are trying to conceive and you're in your TWW, then you're aware that BBT goes up when you conceive, especially if you're monitoring using something like the Anito app or you're using a BBT, a BB thermometer, a basal body temperature thermometer. There we go. A BBT thermometer. So that means you're popping it in and you're tracking every single day your basal body temperature. Well, I'm not a basal body temperature tracker. However, I am an Anito girl, but my Anito is packed up in my household goods. So girl, I did not have my Anito to even check my charts or anything. But I was extremely hot. Now, I wrote this off because I just moved to South Korea with my family, and it's pretty hot and humid here, and we are experiencing a pretty significant heat wave. And so I figured I was just running hot because it's hot outside. Yeah, no, your girl was pregnant. So that was a pretty big sign. That is one to look out for. If you feel yourself being hotter than normal and like not just, whew, I'm hot today, but like you're hot and you're consistently just a little bit warm. Like if you touch yourself and like, I'm running a little warm, but I don't feel like I have a fever. I don't feel sick or anything. That might be a really good sign that you have conceived and your body is doing what it needs to do to bring you that beautiful baby that you've been praying for. Another one was I had, and this actually happened with my first pregnancy as well. I had big, bad acne, and it's not just on my face. If you actually go back and watch some of my videos, you'll see recently I had like this really bad pimple here. I had some stuff going along in the chin, very deep hormonal cystic, I think that's how you say it, acne, and it was really bad. Like I went to Oliver Young and I went and got like a bunch of stuff just to start cleaning and treating my face because I was like, whoa, this is too much. I'll go through that another time, but it was real bad, y'all. And I don't only get it on my face. So if you're getting like really bad acne, like on your back, on your thighs, maybe on other parts of your body, that's a really good sign, a telltale sign that you, my friend, might be pregnant. Okay, another sign. I think this sign gets overlooked a lot. I did not actually overlook this sign, but I thought that this meant my period was coming. And this is why I think the sign gets overlooked a lot, which is feeling very bloated. I felt very bloated and very fat. And I was complaining to my sister and my husband. I was like, oh my God, the food here. And I just feel so big and I just need new clothes. And I was just, girl, no. Girl, I felt huge. So that is another sign to watch out for, just feeling bigger and bloated, like not feeling good. I felt really fat. Another sign that I was pregnant was I was very, very, very thirsty. Like, not just like I need a sip of water. I was parched. And I actually made this list of signs that I missed because I overlooked them due to my recent move. So again, this thirst that I had, I thought it was just because I was in a new country and it was very hot, it was very humid. And when I tell you I was downing bottles of water, I was just downing them like they were going out of style. We were like, our hotel, before we even go up, every time I came through the front door, I would grab 2 to 3 bottles of water from the like little restaurant bistro area they had. I would like keep water like stocked in the fridge. I would ask them to replace the water in the fridge in the room constantly. I was drinking water so much. Like I was even eating ice. Like that's how thirsty I was. It was so crazy. And I just thought it was because I was hot. And I just thought I was hot and thirsty because I'm in a new country. And like this South Asian heat is, I'm not South Korea, so this, you know, Asian heat, Eastern world heat, whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. Food aversion. So this one was kind of a telltale because whenever I get pregnant, my first trimester, it's really hard for me to eat. But again, I overlooked this sign because I was in a new country and I just thought I didn't like the food and everything tasted weird. I was like, the Sprites don't taste like Sprite. The pasta isn't the same type of pasta. I don't want to eat any eel or squid. It was just a lot. I was not interested in kimchi or anything like that. And so food aversions, that was a really big one for me. That was a really big one. Another one was nausea. I felt so nauseous. Now this one I did not overlook. I was like, why am I feeling so queasy? And I thought it was because, I'm going to be real with you, I must be ovulating. Whenever I ovulate, I get nauseous. Like I always do. I'm pretty sure you probably have felt that before. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys feel that way. So it's like, girl, yeah, I was super nauseous, sis, and it was like the worst. So, and I thought that nausea was directly linked to me not feeling hungry. Nope, it was a baby. I was baking a baby. Another telltale sign, and this is actually a classic sign. So I feel like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If you notice this, start making your progression lines, girl. So another telltale classic sign was smells smelled smelly. Smells smelled so smelly. And it's not even that things were just necessarily stinky, but I could smell everything. I could smell people's breath. I could smell people's sweat. I could smell something in the trash can. I absolutely hate the smell of ketchup. I could smell it like so much. I could smell everything. My God, everything was smelly. Okay, another telltale sign for me, I don't know if it is for you, girl, but another sign for me was my boobs did not fit in my bra. And I was pissed. I was so mad about it because this went right back to feeling fat and bloated and just disgusting in my body. And I was really sweaty. It was just like all of the things were happening. My boobs were not fitting in my bra, and it was really making me mad because I had a finite amount of options because we just moved to another country and I had like 3 suitcases and a carry-on. I'm sorry, 2 suitcases and a carry-on. So that means I had a very finite amount of undergarments that I could switch out to. So some of my bigger bras I didn't have. I had my she-fit bras, which I could adjust, but they're not really for wearing like clothes. They're for working out. So if you want to put on like a cute tank or a cute dress, it was going to show or be a little bulky. Or even sometimes if you don't, when your boobs feel really big and you're trying to like keep them up and they're sweaty, it kind of gave like uniboob. I really hate that. So I was really irritated about that. But I thought I was just getting fat. And so when I was at the hotel, like our second or third day in the hotel, I ended up taking a pregnancy test and it was very negative. And I was feeling all of this stuff. And what happened is June 15th, okay, so May 26th, I logged spotting in my Flow app. According to my Flow app, and I was still in the US in May. According to my Flow app, I ovulated on June 8th. And my husband and I had sex on June 9th. So I've gotten pregnant plenty of times the day after ovulation. So that wasn't surprising that when I went back and looked at it, that's when I conceived. But I had sex on June 9th. 14 DPO for me was June 22nd. And that's when my boobs really started hurting, like it was around 14, 15, 16 DPO. Now, trigger warning, I did lose this pregnancy, but this is the furthest along a pregnancy has been for me in 2 years. Since having my daughter, but she's 4. But so yeah, and I'm looking at my notes, guys. I'm sorry if I'm looking off screen because I don't want to miss anything for you guys. Yeah, so and I took the pregnancy test in the hotel. It was like our second or third day there. I had like our second or third day. It was negative, and it said I conceived on the 9th. I'm gonna see if I can go back to my flow really quick. It said that I ovulated, on June 8th. We did the deed on June 9th, and then on 5/26, I did have some spotting, and it said that my pregnancy, according to Flow, started 5/27. So maybe that spotting I seen at 5/26 was implantation. I don't really know because the numbers were so far off. I certainly was not pregnant the month before in May. So yeah, there's that. And I got my first faint pregnancy test on June 21, faint positive on June 21. So according to that, I was very pregnant, and that would have been like 12 DPO, I think 12, 13 DPO. So bonus signs that I missed. Now these are 2 signs I did miss, and I'm going to tell you guys a little secret at the end of this too. So I missed, well actually there was 3 signs I missed. So 1, I missed cramping. I thought I was cramping because my period was about to start. It felt like period cramps. It felt very just like ugh, and I was probably implantation cramping. I was extremely tired and exhausted, and I again thought this was because of the move, but it turns out I was making a baby. And then the one thing that I really missed, and I didn't pay attention to it, was I had the most vivid dreams. I was having very vivid dreams. I like dreamed of a tornado. I had like a lot of crazy dreams in that 1 month period. So I did end up losing that pregnancy at 4 and 7, so right at 5 weeks, and it was very devastating because that was the furthest along I have been in a while. And immediately following that loss, I got pregnant again. So that was just like a few weeks ago. I found out Monday of this week, so today is Friday, you're seeing this. I found out the Monday of this week that I was pregnant, and Wednesday I lost that pregnancy. So please trigger warning if you're watching this. Wednesday I lost that pregnancy, so that was very sad. But I said that because even with that pregnancy, there were 2 things that happened that were exactly the same as my June pregnancy. So one thing I didn't tell you, my June pregnancy, I had the strongest craving for sour stuff. When I was pregnant with my daughter, who's 4 years old, I craved and ate sour candy, lemons, what have you, my entire pregnancy. And so the same thing happened this time with my July pregnancy. I was craving sour stuff, but I thought it was my period coming on. I was like, okay, I just lost a kid. I wasn't even thinking about, being pregnant. And I was having very vivid dreams, and I was craving sour candy. I had a bunch of sour candy. And in those dreams, I had 3 dreams, right? I'm going to go back. 7/16, 7/17, 7/20. 7/16, I had a dream of a first response positive pregnancy test and a foreign positive pregnancy test. So it wasn't first response, it was like a foreign brand, so probably a South Korean brand. 7/17, so the next night, I had another dream, and it was a very faint line positive pregnancy test. And I was like, I don't know if this means I'm pregnant. Like, I remember saying this in a dream. I was like, I don't know if this is an indent line or if this is a positive. And then the 3 nights later, 7/20, I had a dream of me and my best friend talking, and I was like, girl, I'm so tired. And my best friend in the dream said to me, that baby that you're baking. Those were the 3 dreams I had. And then my period was supposed to start on June 26th, so July 26th, Saturday, July 26th. And I took a pregnancy test Thursday, July 24th. It was negative. And then when my period was 2 days late, so it didn't start on Saturday, it didn't start on Sunday, I was like, that's not normal. I've had irregular periods, but even if my periods are irregular, it's never more than 31 days. And so we were like day 32, day 33. So I took a pregnancy test that Monday, very faint line. I took a pregnancy test Tuesday. It was darker. It was a stronger positive. And that was in the morning. But then that afternoon, I noticed like the smallest, tiniest speck of blood. And so I knew right then when I seen that, it was like so tiny I knew the moment I seen that I was going to lose that pregnancy, because I do not get implantation bleeding. I did not get implantation bleeding with my daughter. I did not get implantation bleeding in any of the following 6 pregnancies, but I just wanted to share with you those 8 signs, those signs that you might be pregnant. I'm just gonna go back over them one more time. If you're feeling hot, if you're having really big bad acne, if you're feeling very bloated and fat, thirsty, not hungry or having food aversions, nauseous, if you are smelling smells at a heightened sense, whether they're good or bad, they're just like right there in your nose. If your boobs are feeling bigger, tender, painful, and obviously if you miss your period, you get a positive pregnancy test. And of course, watch out for those vivid dreams, because that's really a big one. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Those are the signs. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I hope you enjoyed this video, and come back and join me next Friday for another faith and fertility conversation.